À vous, tous les citoyens du monde, la cohabitation, elle n'est pas facile actuellement. Et pourtant, c'est ce qu'il nous faut. Cette cohabitation, cette acceptation d'autrui, cette acceptation de la différence, cette acceptation de l'être humain en général. Alors, il n'y a qu'un seul pas à faire.
Welcome, family.
Accepte l'autre.
Welcome to this second, but actually sixth edition of Monday Quality Talks. Well, as you can see, everything is set properly. Big shout out to my brother, my guy, Florent, for coming through with the mic. You know, he's hooked me up with the lights as well. We got a little setup, going on, and it's a nice little vibe, and it is my absolute pleasure to and actually comfort to welcome you to Boddhi's house, my house. Well, as we're about to start today, I want to first start by doing my usual Monday. It used to be called Monday Talks, right? But so now it's going to be the new rituals, or pursuing the rituals that I've been pushing. Beloved kindred, I salute you. Thank you very much for tuning in. Let me wish you all, first of all, a fantastic unfolding of your week. May you all be graced with manifestation of positivity. Even through the challenges, may you find messages, significations, and meanings that will allow you to look at the brighter side of things. May you be prosperous in everything you do, and may you not let anyone take your smile away, even yourself. Welcome to Monday Quality Talks. Family, well, this is a very interesting time, and it feels as we are getting to the end of this year. Pretty much, this is the last month of 2020. That all of us feel rather exhausted, challenged, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, physically. Besides all the smiles, all the courage, all the determination, and these messages of positivity, there's a lot of despair, there's a lot of stress. Sometimes there's questions, there's things that we maintain in the backhand of things, right? Things that we sort of decide to keep private. The apparatus of the brand, of the name, of what it is that we are sort of representing, forces us at times to all of us, whatever it is that we'll be doing in our lives, it's forcing us to sometimes just feel trapped in our own realities. And even more so, considering what's going on now with the current state of affairs worldwide and the nonsense, the uh, truth, counter truth, possible alternative to the truth, etc., etc. It's hard to find your truth, my truth, you know. As we were doing this talk, you're listening in the background songs from my second album, Transition. And there's a reason why I'm playing this album. Because, as I said before you, I'm myself going through a series of challenges that, have been going through my path as the year unfolded itself, and sort of like at times gave me moments of like, I could catch some air, but then quickly things would just turn kind of south in a way. But that's life. That's what it is. I think that the main question here is, what do we use as a form or a tool to help us attain these realms where we can find peace? When we go through so much pain and so much despair, really, that we feel completely disarmed and able to process information in a pragmatic way. For me, it's music. This album, these songs that are playing right now in the background are songs taken from, as I said, my second album, but that second album is a tribute to my father who passed away in 2014. And it's an album and a body of work that has been shaped in the hardest phase of my life. Probably one of the hardest I've ever encountered, and I've encountered quite a few. But it seems as though everything sort of catched back on me in 2020. And for a lot of us, as a matter of fact, it's funny. It's not really funny, but whomever I speak to about, how the year has been, if they really are truthful and honest, they'll tell you that it's been a year of quite a metamorphosis, quite a change, quite a unsettling and traumatic for many. A lot of us have to be home. Some are scared to leave their houses. There's so much troubles right now that it's feeling super complicated to just find peace. I see all sorts of like mental illness taking place, and really, what is quite interesting is that we are sort of like putting ourselves in a situation, in a state where we feel like it's okay to act as, or we feel like it's okay to just put a facade, Let me show everybody how great my quarantine is going, how fantastic everything is going. Whereas the moment you're done doing that thing, then next thing you know, you're trying to find comfort in the amount of likes you're going to get on that post, or the amount of views that post got in your stories, or whatever the case may be. I have personally as a result of all these experiences in my life, all these pains, all these baggages, that we carry. Some of them we feel that we're responsible for. Some of them we take responsibility, but it's not our responsibility. We wish we could have done better, but we didn't. We could have not done better. All this guilt is quite difficult to bear. And I really think that it's time to really come to a form of like peace with self. It's not easy. It's not easy. As I'm speaking to you, and many of you may know that I do wear my heart on my sleeve for the most part, as much as I can be very, guarded for a lot of things. But I do share as much as I can because I think that, some of us got to do it to inspire those who are too shy or too ashamed to be pointed fingers at because they may display some level of weakness. Yes, as a strong guy, as a big guy, as an inspiration to some, etc., etc., I'm expected to always be super strong, always there. Come on, Boddhi, you can't fall. You can't get on your knees, man. It's not you. You're the champ. You're this, you're that. Your close people are like, they're there, asking you to provide them with your word, sometimes just, just your presence as a source of healing and really kind of like a place where it feels warm to be, right? Whatever you do in life, we all have people that rely on us. We all have people that love us, people that don't necessarily love us, but we're not really talking about those folks. And for the people that love us, it's hard to see the one they cherish so much go through their own phases of questioning and wondering and not knowing. Yes. It's okay. It's okay to say that, hey guys, it's a bit too much. I can't deal with this anymore. I need help, or I just need a break. And with true honesty, I decided to take a break. Several reasons. Some of them, obviously, especially heavy matters for me, have led me to decide to take a break from social media. I'm a firm believer that social medias and all these great tools of communications are really a fantastic mean to reach people and share your message and whatnot. In my case, I think that I got to a point where I literally feel sick whatever post I see. Like I'm not enjoying what I'm seeing. I'm not, and that some people might think that it's hating, but it's not. It's just that I'm not feeling it, and that's because I reached a tipping point with my mental health, as strong and as tough as I am, and it is because I am strong and resilient that I'm able to just look at my problems and just say that, look, hey, this is gonna go to a point where if I don't stop now, if I don't take a moment now to acknowledge what's going on, Be honest about it. The aftermath of me lying to myself are so disastrous, so dramatic. It's been seen and experienced before me by people who have done the mistake of lying to themselves because they had an image to uphold, they had a role to keep. You know, for a woman or a man, but as a man, I'm going to talk as a man, right? Especially when you're proud and you are, you're a provider. You really know what it is to embrace the apparatus, the necessities, the respect, the care, the love, everything that a true king needs to take on and wear proudly. When you understand that you can only do these things properly if you acknowledge when you're not good, so that you don't continue lying to people. So yes, this is not for me a message to make anybody feel sorry or down. I'm just saying that I'm just sharing my personal experience to tell you that it's okay if you feel like you're tired. It's okay if you feel like you can't do this. At least you have to slow down, because indeed you still have to manage to find ways to pay your bills. You still have to provide. But I think that one of the ways for me to do that was to just, cut off, for example, Instagram. I would literally, and I realized that, I said I would literally have my phone with me all the time. I would be looking out for a message of somebody that's, there to me and expecting, that person to reach out to me, or, going back and forth, just conversations, whatever. And then you create this sort of like dependency where it was so synchronized that I would actually look at my phone right before I would receive a message. It's almost like I was another antenna, a second antenna to my phone. So that is a result of isolation. That is a result of what we all had to go through by, dealing with this whole year. Some of us, I have a friend of mine, very long time friend of mine, who spent an entire quarantine reading books and watching the news and feeling scared to come out and going through a serious level of depression. And you can't do that to yourself. You've gotta, we all have things that maintain us sane, and sometimes this very thing that we think, eventually that's the thing that actually turns into a poison, right? That dependency on this telephone, on this whole thing it's complicated, man, and it's hard to tell anybody to do something. You gotta feel it when it's time, and you have to be honest with yourself before, again, as I said, you break. Take a break before you break. So before I break, because I feel like, again, strength, and that I've learned through my practice as a martial artist, in the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu field. It is not a question of strength, it's technique. Because strength, everybody has strength. And if you apply strength to strength, it's going to cancel itself. You're not going to go anywhere. Eventually, what you're going to see, you will eventually see who's going to win, and usually it's the one that runs out of strength that's going to win, or lose, that matter. So you got to be about technique. you gotta be about, you know, nurturing very cautiously the art of developing your technique. And what does it mean? It's nourishing, first of all, your mind. Because your mind needs to be fed with ideas, visions, projections that are rooted in a true desire to elevate at all times. At least that's my opinion. Some people don't feel like doing that. They're not about that. So this is not really a video for them, because they'll automatically, you know, have probably a rejection when it comes to the kind of message I'm sharing here. And so once again, this is really about people who are about progress and evolving and trying to be a better version of themselves. And you cannot be a better version of yourself if you get to a point where you don't acknowledge the real issue, the root of your problem. And so, as much as it's difficult, as much as it requires courage, as unsettling as it is, I can guarantee you that there is a sense of relief when you face a situation, when you face something that leads you to realize that you are the key to that door you've been trying to open all this time. You see, as we're listening to transition, and as I spoke about the pain, I spoke about, enduring all sorts of pain, just like, again, all of us. I'm not unique. If anything, there's much worse than me. And it's not about, here, this is not a show about, self-pity or, crying. No. Well, crying could happen, but it's not the question here. The question is about how do we move from the position of sadness, the position of feeling empty, feeling lost, to a position where we are fully, completely empowered with the knowledge that this is just a phase. But it is a phase we must take very seriously without adding more gravity or, some sort of exaggeration whatsoever. See things for what they are. It's hard. Especially when it comes to people you love, people you care for, things that you want to see happening for you in your life. And if they don't unfold that way, as life very often does, as much as your desire, your vision, your determination can bring, obviously, the manifestation of your vision, it doesn't always unfold itself in the time frame that you've organized. That alone consists of a serious level of pain that one has to deal with. Because it feels like as this is a rejection. As if though you've put your focus, you've put your determination, you've been doing everything right, and yet you're still not getting to that point. How the hell am I not getting there? What the fuck is going on? Oh my God, oh this, oh that. And then you start falling back into relapsing into old habits of fear, old habits of doubt. That is the issue. consistency, resilience is needed to be applied on the wound caused by your expectations, on the wound caused by your unsatisfied desires. I'm going through that. You see, I've always been somebody extremely patient when it comes to work. My whole career, by God's grace, has been blessed with so many things, so many opportunities, but also vast, vast challenges. And yet, I'm not unique. But I would say that one thing that really, 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 really helped is maintaining a certain direction. Even at times where I felt disrespected, I felt insulted in my industry, I felt like I was dismissed. I was being, maybe to a certain extent, held back. And I'm sure you must feel that way right now. Or you probably have felt that way. And these feelings, these emotions being so powerful, become engraved in your system, in your flesh, and they become memories. They become one with you. So what is becoming one with you is something utterly negative. Do you realize that you're making yourself, you're mating, please, I'm actually going to use a word that's profound. You're mating with a form of reality, a perception of yourself, and a perception of how people see you, how people try to project on you their own fears, their own doubts, their own lack of self-esteem, or whatever the case may be. And you made that you. Starting from our parents, starting from people that we love. Oh, you can't do this. Oh, you know. And then what does that do? It creates more struggle for the person to actually be able to, come out of this victorious. Because you always have those doubts that you can't do it. I'm not good enough. I don't deserve it. There's somebody better than me. Come on. Let's be real. There's always going to be somebody better than you. There's always going to be somebody that's going to be this, that's going to be that. And so fucking what? For people who are unsatisfied with what they have, for people who are unsatisfied with the blessings that they have, because you see, life brings us all amazing sets of blessings. And yet sometimes we have the tendency, the audacity to rebuke those blessings because we feel like, it's not compatible with the vision that I have. But by all means, that's absolutely a right, and that's absolutely something that can be and must be respected, of course. But it is utterly unfortunate, again, I repeat this word, and if you don't understand it, it means extremely unfortunate. Because, you see, we all serve purposes, we all serve roles and missions. And if you decide to not serve your mission, not serve your role, also not allow people to serve their mission and their role in your life, well, you're changing courses constantly. But if the motivation of these choices or non-choices is rooted in your fear of not being good enough, rooted in your fear of being less. My dear sister, my dear brother, indeed, I am afraid to tell you that a lot of the things that you're going to be touching will be mediocre. Yes, indeed. It's unfortunate and it's true. So how do we change that? You see, pain, whatever its form, in my personal opinion, has to be treated at its root. You must face it with courage. You must see and acknowledge where you messed up, where you could have done better, where you should have done better. But yet, as you acknowledge that, yeah, you might feel a pinch in your heart. You might feel like, oh my God. And if you can try to do better, do your best. That's already a lot. But don't give up because it's hard. Don't give up because somebody said it's impossible. Never. No. Okay. I can't do this. I'll prove you that I can do it. You see? Courage is not, I think, shown when you're the strongest. It is shown when you are at the bottom of the pit. When you are on your knees, almost laying down. And the pressure, the weight of the world is profoundly painful. Hurting your back. Provoking you to just want to disappear from the surface of the world. Don't fall into that, fam. You see, the beauty of who you are as a human being, as a reflection of the divine, right? And again, this show is not about religions or anything like that, but as I told you before, I'm touching upon all subjects. The reflection of your divine being is actually shown in these times. It is your capacity, my capacity, to rise out of those ashes with love and respect. Because the very thing that got you there taught you a lesson. You may curse it, you may hate it, but it's a mistake in my opinion. Because had it not been for this very thing that happened to you, you would have not found out the amazing strength that you have within you. If you've gone through experiences in your life that thousand words cannot even begin to translate in emotions. Only you must find the code, the key to the door that is causing you to not be able to rise from, take a perspective from that position where you feel like you're not able to convey your message, explain yourself, your pains. Sometimes it's so difficult that you can't put words on them. I know that. I do that. Sometimes I'm having a conversation with somebody that may have hurt me. In a love relationship, that's usually the case. And it happened to me recently as well. And it's like, you want to express what's bothering you, but then the words come missing. And though you're super articulate, but then the level of pain is such that you're not able to translate, and then what comes out is a reflection of the frustrated message, which is then which is then charged in negative energy, and then that creates a snowball effect of negativity. All I'm trying to say here is this: happiness is easy, really, if you think about it. It's easy to be happy. It's even easier to be sad. The choice for many of us is posed in these moments of truth. Which way are we going to go? Are we going to feed the side of ourselves that is that sad, moping around personality, that nothing goes my way, I don't deserve this, I am not worthy of that? Or are we going to feed the side that says, okay, this is this. Let me take time and absorb the information. Let me take time and give thanks, first of all. Give thanks for this beautiful experience, because as messed up, dark, fucked up as it is, and again, I'm being a bit extreme here because some people go through very extreme things indeed, experiences that change their lives. I know what I'm talking about, and I'm pretty sure you know what I'm talking about, because it might talk to you. It is what you decide to learn from these experiences. It is what you decide to apply upon these wounds. What compress, what liquid, what kind of liquid are you going to be putting on these wounds? Obviously, you're not going to add more acid. You're not going to add something that, will cause the wound to just amplify itself. You will add something that will, first of all, treat and cleanse the wound. And as you treat and cleanse the wound, you're going to start adding a series of other things that will be now helping you to clean that wound. I'm getting to the point. We're talking about mental pains, emotional traumas, and so on and so forth. How do you come about finding some sort of peace? Everybody can say to you 1,000 words again, but it will never match the level of emotion you feel. As much as they will try, only you suffer what you suffer. Only me suffer what I suffer. And the way I'm suffering what I'm suffering is not the same way you do. So all we can do is try to understand. Extend a helping hand to one another and say, hey, I don't want you to stay there. I don't want you to stay low. I want you to rise. How can I help you rise? How can I help you understand that whatever you've gone through doesn't determine and make you who you are? Yes, it is going to make you somehow who you are, for sure. Because, as I said, I don't know if I said that, but we are sharpened. We are toughened by life. And it's a good thing. I don't shy away from these challenges. I just think that as we as we get tougher, let's not forget that there is one point that we must take care of as we took care of our wounds, is that we don't replace what is in our hearts with a stone of indifference, a stone of resentment. Your heart turns into a stone the more hurt you've encountered in your life. I say this because that's what I have. You know, I've had a heart turned into stone for many years. You know, I had to be tough. I had to be strong. I still do. But I think that you don't really have to turn into a stone to still be strong. It doesn't make you less strong. As a matter of fact, the more adaptable you are, the more powerful you are. My father used to always tell me, son, be like water. Water is so powerful. Water is formless. It's amazing. It's in your body, it's around you, it can carve the hardest stone, cut into the toughest metal. Water is very strong. So be like water. But make sure you polarize that water with love, harmony, positivity, compassion. Of course, we all frustrated. Do you think I feel like that all the fucking time? I don't. You know, for instance, as I said, right now in my state where I am right now, and this whole stage I'm in, I need to deconstruct a lot of things and reconstruct new things based on the very element I just spoke to you about. It's not easy. You know, I have deep wounds, very deep. And I can't heal them if I keep on trying to find some sort of placebo, whatever that placebo might be. Working like a crazy person, sleeping very little hours, trying to run away from what hurts. And most of the time, it's not even hurt that you called upon yourself because you wanted to do that. It's just sometimes it's people. But it's also because people are free to make choices in their lives. It's also because, you know, people are imprevisible. I don't know if you can say that in English, but, you know, we need to be very, 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 very wise, very, very clear with the fact that an absolute truth that is undeniable is that change is inevitable. Whatever you decide to do, however you want to do it, it will come. So fight it, curse it, hate it. It's not going to change shit because it's inevitable. It's coming for you, for all of us. So how do we find peace? I think it starts by again, breathing in and breathing out. And give thanks because I'm here, present, My feet solidly grounded. So is you. We're here. And as long as we're here, not only physically present, but spiritually present, intellectually present, there's no riddles, no challenges that can be posed to us or upon us that we cannot solve. But we cannot solve these by filling our hearts, charging our water with negative thoughts, negative intentions, negative ideas. They are there, yes. Try your best. Don't wish anybody anything bad, as much as sometimes you wish that, and you will wish people that hurt you badly the worst things, but be very careful, because words have power. Words do manifest in people's life, and the first person they hurt is you and only you. And you might hurt them as well, but you will be the one hurting. The transition between the old self and the new self is extremely painful, and it doesn't happen once. It's a sequence that is cyclic. It will come every so often, pushing you to your limits, targeting things that you care for, switching your perspective on things, forcing you to say, shit, man. Alright, it's time for me to just slow the fuck down and just take a breather and, before I do something stupid, before I say something stupid, let me just take a moment. It's never easy. Transitioning from one situation to another, transitioning from one state to another, it's painful. It's very painful, because it requires tremendous courage. Sometimes against your will. But you cannot fight what is inevitable. You don't have the right to fight it. You don't have the permission to fight it. Time will always operate on its own sets of rules that we do not have any impact upon. Choose wisely the time you spend on cultivating thoughts, ideas, and habits that will eventually mess you up and mess other people up. That's why you see a lot of wounded people, man, especially my brothers, man. What's up, guys? I know it's not easy, I'm an alpha, I'm this, I'm that. But yet, a little girl can make you cry, as alpha as you are. In my opinion, that's not what alpha means. And alpha is shaped through pain. Because from pain, the alpha will understand that instead of charging his or her heart with negativity, which might be needed sometimes, because you need the balance, you need the harmony between the two. But to polarize really and have serious impact in your life, it is only through light, through love. Because anything that's done from the conjunction of negative intentions and negative actions don't bring anything nice. I say that because, again, you know, I reached the tipping point and I had these questions today. And I was like, what am I doing? What am I doing what I'm doing for? Where am I going? So I wanted to talk about that today, share that with you, you know. As uncomfortable as it is, believe me, it's very uncomfortable. But it is necessary. You know, this is not a time to show off and tell people and try to show people that your quarantine is better than the others. It's not, even if it might not be your intention, but you have to be careful. People suffer in silence, man. And it's not even that because people are jealous. Sometimes people can be super happy for you, but they go through a lot. Nobody says that you have to shut down your happiness, but you have to know the difference between show off and demonstrating happiness. If you love somebody, sometimes you will hurt that person. And if you know you did, and if you know you're doing that, don't be so proud to say that you're sorry. But also, don't be so foolish to not work on yourself, to not do the necessary amendments with you in order for you to do better the next time. Take a moment for yourself. Take a moment for yourself. Try that. You know, try that little something, you know. Love yourself. And I'm going to do just that. I will apply my own advice to myself because, you know, for the longest time, family, I've been telling you guys a lot of things that I mean, but I truly, at times, I did not always apply to myself. I heard myself saying them, but I didn't apply them. And I'm at a stage right now, it's going to be 10 months through this. I've been providing you guys with as much positivity, love, and light as I could and as I can. This time, I'm the one who needs a breather. I'm the one who has reached my own bottom. Rock bottom, as they say, right? And I need to just take a little moment, you know. The good thing is that because I have a great mental constitution, I'm able to, you know, still be functioning. But not everybody can do that. And I'm not saying that I suggest everybody to do that. Everybody does their own thing. But yeah, take a break before you break. Because there's too much at stake. You know, there's too much at stake. And you know, we sometimes we post certain things, we post certain quotes. Oh, stay away from people who don't value you, this and that. Sometimes it's not even a question of value. The truth is that because you don't have the right words to explain, you then put out these random, you know, quotes and stuff like that and memes and whatever. And I think that this is an error because it betrays, it doesn't tell a true picture of how you feel about things. Because again, it is scary to be rejected, to be confronted with lack of understanding, to be told that it's okay, you got this, not you. You're too strong for this. Come on, man. We count on you. Yeah. Very often, I have felt like there was no one I could speak to. Sometimes not even my own mother, whom I know I can speak to quite sincerely, and obviously my beloved sister, the Empress, Sister Sonia, a couple of other brothers, Keisha, Olive, my boy Florent. But solitude is a very, very, very powerful and humbling thing. But it's a messed up thing. It's an emotion that you can't always control, but that is there. And it's a lie. Because the truth is that you're not alone. And if you take the time to sit down, call on people that you feel you need to talk to. Just talk. Just talk. Mental health is very, 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 very important, and we, especially big and strong guys like myself, we love to talk about it, but we refuse to acknowledge that our wounds caused by sometimes, and in my case, it's wounds caused by several things, but definitely aggravated by love, or lack of it thereof, I guess. But still is from a space of love, from a place of love. So it's more an understanding and an epiphany and an acknowledgement that before I fall back in old habits of loving others more than I would love myself. And that applies to you. Let me check myself in time before it's too late. And as we were listening to Georgia Anne during the claim, When the Lights, when it switches on, it feels like this reality, this alter reality that's coming to us, and it's like, damn, really? Alternate situation is like, what? I was doing that to myself? No. You're valuable. You're precious. You're important. But this whole fake life, whatever bougie nonsense, dumb shit y'all be posting online is cool, but do the necessary work for yourself. You don't have to be vocal about it. You don't have to be out there, because that's another clickbait bullshit. Like, everybody's trying to be like showing their rituals and this and that. It's cool, but you don't need to know what happens after I turn off this thing. You don't need to know what I do necessarily, because it's my private space. But what you can know is that I'm taking care of it, and I'm not scared of facing it. Facing the fact that, yeah, I've hit my personal rock bottom for the moment, and I need a couple of tweaks here and there. But the beauty is because I've nourished such a spirit of resilience, of courage, and discipline in maintaining positivity even when I'm at the lowest. That even when I'm at the lowest, it doesn't look like I'm at the lowest. Well, those who know me might know that I might be, but if like me, or so many others, you smile when deep inside you're crying, and you feel trapped, know that you're not alone. You're not alone. You know? Look after one another, family. Let's do that. Let's do more of that, please. I appreciate you taking the time. It's been a very light attendance for today, but I can see that it's quiet in the chat. And well, I hope I'm not, and I have not bothered you too much with this topic. It's not the sexiest, don't worry. Monday Quality Talks will have plenty of other sessions where we'll be talking about other stuff, more fun, more whatever. But I think it's important to talk about serious matters. It is very important. You know. Life is serious, but don't take it too seriously. And be mindful that your happiness is not at someone else's cost. You know. Be mindful that as you look at someone else and point fingers at someone else's situation and emotional state or whatever the case may be, that you don't find yourself in that same position one time and you feel trapped because you mocked another person who was actually brave enough to talk about it in vulnerability. And with that being said, family, it's with love, gratitude, and appreciation that I close this lovely conversation, deep, but I believe important. And I'm really, really happy that we managed to listen to Transition. And that every topic, without even me thinking about it, it's like, boom. This song with Canem here it says, Que restera-t-il? What will remain? What will remain of you after you've acknowledged all your pains, all the things that have caused you to feel desperate, to feel this hurt, and to carry that hurt with you as you go on in your life. It's time for a change, family. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your support. Please make sure you go and check out the merch on Boddhi Satva, boddhi-satva.com. Of course, show some love and support to the brother. Support the music by streaming it, playing it, and let's smile. You know, even if we may feel like we want to cry, it's okay. Let's smile. Let's give thanks. Let's love. I have love for you. Tremendous. And I appreciate you. I honor you. And I thank you. Because for you, and because of you, I am what I am. It may not always be beautiful. It may not always be perfect. And it's not supposed to be. But I am because of you. Ubuntu, as my good sister, the impressive folk Dr. Diane Regisford really speaks so beautifully about. Family, this has been your boy Boddhi Satva with a brand new little setup, giving you guys a little treat of the quality I'm dealing with right now, because you know how we do it. Now let me go back to my break and let you enjoy the listening of this fighting spirit, because that's what it is about. Resilience, fighting, always forward, with love in your heart. Blessings. Thank you very much. song actually was inspired by my father's fighting spirit. He was battling with his life, trying to survive, trying to, make it through. And yeah, man. Yeah, man. A lion is not a cat. Never forget that. A lion is not a cat. And a lioness is not a cat neither. Get it together. Family. Blessings. As you can hear, my dog is trying to walk around. Good rest of your evening. Bless up. Or afternoon or morning, wherever you are in the world.